Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for our latest Train Like a Trooper podcast. I'm Sarah Stewart, your host, along with Lieutenant Mark Southall, my co-host. And today we are joined by Dustin Whitten with OSU OKC. We have a very special partnership between the Highway Patrol and OSU OKC concerning education requirements. And so we're going to be talking about that today. But Dustin, let's start off with you introducing yourself and kind of tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you. My name is Dustin Whitten. I am the Police Science and Collegiate Officer Program Director at OSU OKC. My background is with the Oklahoma City Police Department, where I did 21 years and retired in 2018. From there, I went into a full-time teaching position at OSU OKC and then took over as the Police Science and Collegiate Officer Program Director in 2019. So I've been there for 8 years now.
Very good. So we started this partnership with you guys back in 2022. Tell us a little bit about how this came about.
We had started, actually it was Commissioner Tipton had come to us with this idea of entering into a partnership where OHP Academy graduates could get college credit, which by state statute, to be commissioned as a trooper, they're required to have 62 credit hours or an associate's degree. And so we started working with Commissioner Tipton about ways that we could do that. And through CLEAT training, any certified commissioned officer in the state can be awarded credit hours through OSU OKC, through their experience and through their training. And so we adapted that to this partnership with OHP, where they can get it's 39 credit hours toward their Police Science Associate's degree at OSU OKC, and then meet that statutory requirement.
So doing the math, that's 23 hours they'd have to come in with, and then they can get the additional from OSU OKC?
Correct. And there's some different routes, and the numbers can be a little bit confusing. Just the basic, they would have to have 23 credit hours before the academy starts. Once they successfully graduate the academy, they're awarded the 39 credit hours, and that meets the 62 credit hour requirement. There's also, if they get their general education requirements, so English Comp, History, there's 21 credit hours toward our associate's degree. If they get those with us at OSU OKC, they would actually only have to have 21 credit hours. Because
Just to make it even more confusing. We're not math majors here, right?
Because when they graduate the academy, they get those credit hours, those 39 credit hours awarded. They've met the degree requirements and they have their associate's degree. So that also meets that statutory requirement.
Do you ever see, so what they're saying, they have to come in with either 21 or 23 credit hours. Does it matter what those credit hours are, or in your experience, is it usually a lot of that general education?
Usually
credits?
it's general education for, like if they apply at OHP and they're told you have to have 23, 24 credit hours, it could be anything.
Okay.
If they call and they start asking me, I always recommend that they get their general education requirements, because that can go toward that degree.
So there have been several academies where the cadets have been able to take advantage of this. And you said there's around 20 so far that have actually done this.
Yeah, there's been probably a little over 20 that have taken advantage of the credit hours. And I think, if I remember right, we started with the 70th Patrol Academy. The 74th just recently graduated. And we actually had 3 of those troopers that got their degree through this program. And so we've had 1 or 2 more prior to that. But this one, we had 3 out of the 74th Academy.
What is the cost to the student or cadet?
So for us at OSU, at OSU OKC, it's roughly $126 a credit hour. So if they get their gen eds, it's $126 per credit hour, 21 credit hours. For the 39 credit hours, it's advanced standing credits, it's $5 per credit hour.
Wow.
So it comes to about $195.
Wow.
That is practically unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what college costs are these days.
That's less than the cost of a book.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
It's
they're-
amazing for them to be able to take advantage of this.
Yeah, so for their training, for the experience that they've gone through, what's the OHP Academy, 6 months?
Yeah, 24 weeks, 4-ish
Yeah.
months, 4 or 5
So
months.
that translates into those credit hours. And how we do that is, so there are other schools that offer the credit hours. We actually offer a little bit more, and the reason we do that is our entire police science curriculum is based on the TLAT Academy curriculum. So it's kind of apples to apples in how we do that, whereas some of the other schools in the state are criminal justice degrees, which covers a broader range. Ours as a police science degree is more specific.
How long have you guys had that police science degree?
It's since the mid-90s.
Pretty popular program for you?
Yeah, it's been one of our most popular programs over the past 5 years or so. Kind of like law enforcement has experienced around the country. There's been kind of a downturn on people who want to be in law enforcement, and that's we try to deal with that like police departments and OHP does as well. But it is still a popular program. We still get a lot of students that come through it.
Awesome.
So for a cadet that's somebody coming into the OHP Academy and they're thinking about taking advantage of this opportunity, is it a lot of extra work for them during the academy?
So during the academy, to get the police science credits, it is no extra work whatsoever. The training that they are doing it's the same curriculum. I think after the 70th, it might have been during the 70th Academy, I think they've added on the emergency medical responder requirement.
Yes.
And so that, to my knowledge, that's the only thing that is added on, but it's still part of that degree. To get their gen eds, that would be extra work, although while they're in the academy, I don't recommend it. And also while they're in their field training.
Right.
Because there's a lot going on, a lot of stress, a lot of work. And so normally I'll recommend they wait until after the academy, after their field training, and then, if they haven't done their gen eds, then to start working on
Yes.
completing that degree.
So not a lot of extra work, not a lot of money.
No.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
Yeah,
I mean,
it can seem to be, but it is true. That's
yeah,
what
we want people that are thinking about applying to really know about this opportunity that's out there. And then like for the three, let's say from this last academy that got their degree, so when they're walking across that stage and they're becoming OHP troopers, they're also getting their associate. Their associate's degree. That's a big deal for them.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
is.
talk to the ones that
Yeah,
got it last?
but
That's going to be a
briefly we
real
got to talk-
sense
yeah.
of pride.
Yeah, and there is still, when they're done, we'll present that they have earned their degree. There's still a few paperwork, some administrative hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
But we try to get them through there as quickly as we can, get their degree, and then hopefully, then from there they can go on to a bachelor's degree or what they want to do. And we do want to encourage even the ones that are just getting the credit hours, we encourage them also, come back and finish your degree. A lot of times, and I did this too, as a young officer, we don't think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, do I want to be a lieutenant? Do I want to, what do I want to do? And a degree can help facilitate that.
Do you guys have options for guys that are already troopers that want to continue their education? at that level?
Absolutely, yeah. So they can, if they don't have their associate's degree, those credit hours are still offered. So depending on what they've done and where they've been, like the emergency medical responder isn't always covered,
And
unless they've gotten that training elsewhere. But yes, commissioned officers anywhere in the state who have their CLEAT certification are eligible for those credit hours. And so they can come and they can get their associate's degree. We have a public safety management degree, a bachelor's program that's all online, which is the same thing with the gen eds. Those are all offered online, and in different, like 8-week blocks, 16-week blocks. So there's a lot that they can do with that. One of the degrees that we awarded in the past, that trooper actually, he really kind of busted it out. He did all of his gen eds, 21 hours in a semester and a half. So he stacked some of those 8-week block classes and did them pretty fast. I don't necessarily recommend that either.
Yeah.
But he did, that's a lot of work, but he did get that done.
Wow. And I mean, we all agree that education is important, but sometimes, some of these classes that you're getting, you're like, okay, am I really going to be using this in my career? And this, for these cadets, I mean, this is the classes they need.
Right.
This is what you're going to be using in your career, and it's really beneficial that way.
Correct, yeah. And so like I said, all of those classes in our program are all the TLAT curriculum classes. So if we have a student coming through the program, we even offer, it's firearms, defensive tactics, LEDT, those are included as well. So that is where they get the equivalent in their training. So they're getting that in the academy. We just translate that into college credits.
That's great.
And it's probably worth mentioning, so we also award, this doesn't necessarily have to do with OSU OKC, but we give up to 10 semester hours for each year of honorable military service or each year of law enforcement service, if you're prior law enforcement or prior military. So feasibly, somebody can come to our academy with 0 credit hours and then get all this credit from you guys.
Correct. Yeah. And now the thing about that, and I get that question a lot too, with current law enforcement and military, those don't necessarily translate to us.
Right.
That's a DPS OHP.
Right.
thing
So
that they
it's a
do.
way to get into the
But
academy, but
yes.
then they may still have to take more credit hours than you
Yes,
guys.
and so we still encourage them to get their gen eds and complete their degree. Because like I said, it can benefit them further down the road.
What are some other questions that you get from potential applicants? Are there other things that we haven't talked about that people ask about a lot?
Yeah, most of those deal with how many credit hours do I have? Am I eligible for the academy? And so I try to work with them on that since 2022, since I've been working with OHP on this. I've learned a little bit about the recruiting process. So some of those OHP questions I'm able to answer. But I do get some of those that are more, I may have to direct them back to HR here.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm able to answer if they can show me their transcripts or they've been in the military for 6 years. I can usually kind of help them along with how many hours they have, what they need. And then I'll get questions about what they need to get their degree, what kind of classes they have to take, how can they take them, how does the whole process work. And so we get that quite a bit, is basically how the process itself works itself out. So,
Right. Well, this is a hugely beneficial partnership between us and OSU OKC, and we really appreciate you guys and everything that you do for the patrol and for our applicants and our cadets and even the ones that are already troopers. And we appreciate you being on the podcast with us, because I know you said your favorite thing was not to be on camera.
that is true. Sometimes somebody ambushes you with camera stuff.
That wouldn't
so.
be me, would it?
But I appreciated it. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
All right.
And I have, enjoyed working with OHB over the last several years on doing this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.